hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little get ready with me, talking about my low buy for 2021. This is a video that I'm very sad to make, but that I need to make. So I thought I would just chat a little bit about that and kind of my plans for that and the rules that I'm gonna have and why I am doing it in the first place and all that good stuff. And I just used the Vichy Mineral 89 Skin Fortifying Daily Booster. This is, I just started using this recently, not necessarily as a primer but before makeup, because I feel like it makes my skin feel nice and hydrated and stuff. And then I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever Mattifying Primer as well, because that's my fave. And then I'm going to use for foundation the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation, because I haven't used this in a while. I use the shade F1. But yeah, so I feel like it's not entirely surprising that this is coming to my channel, because 2020 I definitely bought a lot of makeup that is, I feel, maybe abundantly clear, especially if you watch the palettes that I bought in 2020 video that should be posted by the time I'm posting this. Yeah, a lot of new things were brought into my life this year, and I think most of that had to do with, I think I was putting all of my like stress feelings and sadness feelings, and I just bought stuff to fill the void. In my notes that I have for this video, I literally said I was buying stuff to fill the void, which we do not want to do in 2021. So I was just bringing in way too much makeup, and I just don't want to do that anymore. This year I really want to focus on being much more intentional with my purchases, and using the makeup that I already have in my collection, because while I obviously love buying makeup and getting new makeup and trying new makeup and talking about new makeup, I also still love using the makeup that I already have, and I want to make a really concerted effort this year to do that and incorporate that into my videos. I also feel like a lot of it too was that I just I think because this year I really had the time to really devote to making more videos and putting effort into my channel, and I really have been enjoying that, and I kind of fell into the trap of being I just want to buy makeup, not just for the sake of buying it, but so that I could talk about it here as well. But I don't necessarily think that my niche is just talking about new makeup all the time. But I also want more for my videos. Not that it's bad to talk about new stuff all the time. That's to each their own. Obviously that does very well for a lot of people, and I love watching that content as well. But I just want to have different video ideas. I want to be a little bit more creative with my channel than just doing constantly talking about new stuff and just doing a shit ton of first impressions. Again, like I said, not that that's bad. I also love watching that kind of content, but if I'm not bringing in as many new things, I can't be doing that. And I don't know, I just want to think outside the box a little bit more and focus on doing maybe more looks. I don't really know, but that's kind of where my head's at right now. But another main reason that I want to do this is also just because I want to save more money. Our lives are gonna be a lot more, not unstable necessarily, but I'm going to be graduating soon, hopefully by the end of the summer. So I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. And so I need to maybe just save just in case. I don't know what my life is gonna be like this year. Whereas for me, I was really lucky because 2021 was a lot more like stable, because I've been in grad school, I had my funding coming in, I had a TA job, actually I had 2 TA jobs, so I was like pretty stable financially, and obviously we weren't spending that much money on other stuff like going places or traveling or doing anything, obviously. So I felt like, I don't know, I was just putting any extra money that I had into buying makeup. And while I don't necessarily, did I even put primer in this eye? And I don't necessarily regret that, because that like brought me a lot of joy this year, but it's just different circumstances for 2021. Let's put it that way. And there's also just stuff, I mean, I feel like so many people that do like low buy videos say this as well, but there's just other stuff that I want to buy and save for other than makeup, like such as maybe, I don't know, we want to go somewhere when everyone gets vaccinated, perhaps. Basically, we're kind of just like, as soon as it's safe and we have vaccines and, you know, other people have vaccines and the world has kind of calmed down a little bit, we might want to just like do something, because we haven't been able to, just like everyone else hasn't been able to, so we're kind of itching to do that. I also haven't gotten tattooed in so long, so that is something that I also want to save for as well. So a little side note, I got the Beetlegeuse, or I got the Melt Beetlegeuse The Waiting Room palette as a little gift from my mumsy for Christmas, and I was gonna do a separate video on this entirely, and I actually wanted to buy the other palette in January, but they're like gone. Like totally. I honestly don't understand if they genuinely were just available for like a month and then they're like just permanently gone forever, or if they're going to be restocking them, but it seems like they're gone. So I was like, what is the literal point of filming with a palette that no one can buy anymore? So I haven't tried it yet, so I just figured I would use it in this video. It's so beautiful. I'm really grateful that this is the one that she chose to buy me, because this is the one that I wanted the most. And look at this beautiful, oh, you can't see, has like this little, almost looks like a film thing. I love Beetlegeuse. Fun fact about me, it was one of my favorite movies growing up. I love anything spooky or creepy or scary. Horror movies are my favorite genre of movie, and Beetlegeuse was like one of my favorite movies as a little child, so I knew that I wanted to get at least one of the palettes as soon as they released, and I was so grateful to get this as a present. So I think I'm gonna do a gray crease and a red lower lash line. That is my plan. So I'm gonna actually take the shade Shrunken Head and mix it with the white, which is called Sandworm, just as my transition, and then I'm gonna go in, that's a lie, actually no. So I'm actually gonna start with the shade Shrunken Head and use that as a transition shade and then see where we go from there. Okay, so as I was saying, there are lots of things that I want to save for, like tattooing. I haven't gotten tattooed in, well, I got tattooed in March, like right before Corona. Ooh, that's pigmented. Right before COVID started, so tattooing is something that I love to do. I love to get tattooed. I don't have a ton, but that was a plan for 2020, is to get more, and then obviously that did not happen. I'm actually going to mix this gray with the white, the shade Sandworm, because it's quite pigmented, so I just want to soften it a little bit, and then I'm going to go in with that gray shade on its own. And obviously, maybe not obviously, but if you don't know, tattoos are so expensive. They're so expensive, so it's definitely something that I want to put more of my money towards. Basically just like, I don't know, other life things I want to do. other than just buying makeup. So I feel actually, I mean, I do feel like a little bit sad, but I feel good about this decision. It almost feels like kind of freeing in a way, because a lot of things I'm just like, I don't even feel like super overwhelmed by releases because I'm like, I can't buy most of them anyway. I also wanted to give a little update, not that no one really watched these videos anyway, but for anyone who did, I was doing like a series that I started in this summer where I was trying like a new black-owned indie brand every month, and I stopped doing that, I think maybe in October, just because I felt weird about doing it a little bit as it went on, and I just felt like I could just do it, like buy from black-owned indie brands and not make videos about it. It felt like, was feeling a little bit performative, so I just didn't want to continue with it. Obviously, I will still make an effort to be conscious about the brands that I'm buying from, but I don't necessarily think that I need to like make it an advertisement about like, hey, look at me and look at all these like great things that I'm doing. So that is that on that. Not that I feel like many people were following that series, but I just wanted to make it felt like the right video in the right place to kind of like talk about that. And if there was any single person wondering why I wasn't posting those videos anymore. Speaking of problematic brands, also, I was going to talk about this when I brought this palette up, but I'm just disappointed. Like, I feel like every time I go on Instagram or Twitter or something, I hear about fucking a new annoying, problematic thing that someone or a brand has done, and it's getting exhausting. I just wish that brands would do better, because Melt had like a Christmas party during COVID apparently. I wasn't really on Instagram that much during that time, so I actually didn't see for myself the posts, but I heard, and just so disappointed because I just love Melt as a brand so much. But anyway, and so now I feel like it's a good time as any to talk about the rules that I've set for myself for this low buy year of mine. So basically, I have to be very strict with myself, because if I give myself any leniency, I will just run with it. So I feel like setting a monetary budget for myself every month is the only way that I will actually follow anything. I can't go on a no buy because I won't do it. Like, I genuinely just won't do it. I know that about myself. And any type of arbitrary low buy rules that I know other people have, I just know that I'm going to find loopholes and just find ways to buy things. Like, I'm really annoying, and I know that I will do that. So I have to if I set a monetary budget, I kind of like have to follow it. Otherwise, I'm just like fully breaking it. Essentially, it's not really a low buy. It's a budget. But it's also a low buy because as a result of that, I'm going to be buying less things. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the shade Tombstone. It's this deeper gray, and just see how deep it is. I feel like I'll probably be able to build it up, but I might go in mix it with the black. We'll see. So yeah, so I've set myself a monetary budget. It's $60 Canadian before taxes and shipping. The only reason that I did that is mainly because it's just purely selfish, because the Canadian dollar is just so bad that I couldn't buy anything basically if I made it any lower than that. And so that's kind of my reasoning for that. And it really and it also is just like, for me, feels like an okay number to have monthly. Obviously, I know some people don't like to say their budget, because I know that a lot of people do low buys where they budget and stuff. I've obviously said mine, but I would also, like, I don't think, you don't need me to tell you this, but obviously budgets are really personal, and I don't think anyone should, like, obviously set their budget based on what other people do, right? Like, it's all about you and what you feel comfortable with. For me personally, that's what I feel is gonna be right for me. So yeah, so I've said it before, taxes and shipping, just because at the end of the day, the reason that I've set a budget is just so I have some fucking limit. So I can actually limit myself, because I haven't been, obviously, in 2021. And it feels good. I feel like that's the main thing. You have to make your low buy, like, I say this as I've been on a low buy for not even a full month, so take what I say with a grain of salt. I feel like the most important thing for a low buy that, like, you're gonna end up sticking to is, like, setting rules that you know make sense for you, that is going to, like, help with your goal, whatever that may be, like saving money, you just buying less things, etc., and that you know, like, you're gonna actually stick to. Because so that is what felt right for me, was like an actual, like, monetary budget. Because even if I say, like, you can make one order a month, I'm going to take as, like, many liberties as I am able to. So okay, so that's basically my crease. I feel pretty good about that. I'm gonna quickly cut my crease because I can't do that and talk, and then I'll be right back and jump back into things. Okay, so I cut my crease, and now I have to remind myself where I was in my train of thought. But yeah, I guess, yeah, just that I feel, like, good about it. And I actually feel, at first I knew that I had to do this because it just financially, I think, was the right decision. But I as soon as January started, I actually felt pretty, like, I feel like I'm gonna actually end up enjoying this. We'll see. I may be eating my words in, like, a couple months or so, but yeah. And so I thought I would do, like, I don't think I'm gonna do monthly check-ins or updates or whatever, just because that seems, like, likely I'll either buy one thing or nothing, because I'm going to do it where I, like, if I don't spend my full budget, or if I, like, don't buy anything that month for whatever reason, then I can, like, roll over the remaining, am I filming? Yes. Then I can roll over the remaining money into the next month, so I can, like, essentially, like, save up for something or whatever, if I'm not spending my whole budget every month. And so I don't think that I'm going to be bringing enough stuff in, like, essentially it's going to be one thing or nothing a month. I'm going to go into the shade Juno now in my lid. I'm going to spray that. So I don't think it's going to be, like, that entertaining to do a check-in every month, so I might just do it every 2 months and then just go over everything that I've bought, and then that will also give me time to, like, try things out, make videos on it and whatever, I don't know, and just, like, give updates to how I'm feeling, and just, like, you know, general low buy updates. It's not like I made this concept up. So yeah, I guess I'll do one at the end of February, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done, like, super great so far, because I've already spent my February budget, which I guess that I will talk about at the end of February, but I'm not necessarily proud of it, but I'm going to try to hold myself accountable and then genuinely not buy anything in February, so that you know, it all equals out in the end. But yeah, that is where I am at. And other than that, I don't really have, like, that many strict rules. I honestly feel like that's kind of all I need. I know some people have, like, certain exemptions for certain brands if they, like, release anything, or like, that kind of thing, but really all it is just $60 a month before taxes and shipping, and then I can roll over extra money And apparently if I want, I can spend the next month's budget in advance, as long as I don't actually buy anything that month. So right now I'm currently in the red, but is anyone surprised? Probably not, because I'm not. But I also have like a ton of stuff that I want to film, a ton of videos that I want to make, and like palettes that I want to play with and video ideas. So I'm not feeling like super starved for content or anything. Like I feel like I'm genuinely going to be almost busy enough with all the shit that I already have. So I'm not like going to be, I'm not so concerned that I'm not going to be able to make videos or whatever. I feel like really good. I don't know how many times I can possibly say that, but I do. So because I feel like I'm gonna eventually run out of things to say, I'm just gonna finish this other eye off camera and then be back. Okay, so I did my other eye and I also did concealer and powder because I just feel like that's maybe not the most exciting part of my makeup, so I just skipped over that. I'm just gonna go in and finish my lower lash line. So I'm going to take the shade Obituary, which is this red here, and I'm just going to run that along my lower lash line. I do really enjoy this palette actually, I have just this one time I've used it. I feel like I don't have a ton of grays in my collection, and that's definitely something that I want more of. So this is a welcome addition. This is a very dark color, but I was shocked like that this was only available for such a short period of time, because especially because their collection last year, their holiday collection, wasn't like, it was available for a really long time. Like I bought the Vita palette I think in April or something, so, or even later than that, maybe it was in April, but like late compared to when they launched it. And then for this to launch, I think it launched on Black Friday again, and then it was only available for like literally a month. By January it was like totally gone, so it's really shocking. Honestly, like that seems, maybe I'm just like really stupid, but that to me that seems like a really short time to have a collection available. Maybe it just sold out really fast, but I feel like there was more interest in the collection last year than this one. So if anyone has like any thoughts or insight or anything into that, I would honestly love to like chat about it, because it really doesn't make sense to me. And I was actually going to use the other palette as like my purchase for January, and then when I went to like go look at it, now I'm taking the shade No Exit, it's the deeper red. And then when I went to go like look at it on Sephora, it was gone, and then I went on their website and it was gone. Like it says sold out, which is just, maybe they just didn't have that much stock, or maybe it's because it was like obviously a collaboration with something else, but it's interesting. And I'm looking a little bit dead right now, which normally I don't hate the look of, but I'm just going to blend out this lower lash line with my bronzer that I'm going to use. It's the Fenty Beauty one. Just to blend it into my skin a little bit more. Maybe make it look a little more intentional than what it was looking like before. But I was watching, well, not recently, but I was watching Sweeney Todd like maybe a couple weeks ago, and I just was like, the way that they do their makeup in that movie, I want to look like it every day, like just on the verge of death. I love. My girlfriend doesn't love, but I love. So I'm really happy with that palette so far. I think it's really pretty and just a color scheme that I can get behind, even though Melt is having parties during a pandemic and not addressing it publicly. I just want a brand to not do something just bad. I get that like brands are run by people and people are not perfect, obviously, but a little perspective would sometimes be nice. And Samantha Ravindell launched her new brand, which is very exciting. Is anyone going to pick that up? Because I don't see myself getting anything from it, because it's just the way that obviously the way that we do our makeup is not quite one and the same, and I don't really like I just don't see myself getting use out of any of the things that she has like released, cause I would never really use like any type of like liquid luminizing product. I've dabbled, but it's just not my makeup aesthetics, and it's not the way that I do my makeup, because I do tend to like be pretty heavy on the powder just because I am so oily. I'm not a cream product person. I know that they've been like so popular this year, but I just couldn't care less to be honest. So yeah, and then I also I don't really use my single eye products that often. And again, if I do buy them or use them, it's not like cream eyeshadow like that. So definitely like super happy for her. I've been watching her honestly forever, since like she was doing Battle Lash, and you know, always happy to see influencers launch their brands, and it looks like a really nice brand. But the packaging is so beautiful, but it's just not something that I see myself using or being interested in. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts as well. Okay, I just sprayed my face using the Maybelline Lasting Fix setting spray, and I'm gonna go in with highlighter. I'm just gonna use my MAC Double Gleam because I want something just neutral. I was gonna go in with a white, but I thought that might be like a little too much. So I would love to know also if anyone else is going on this low buy journey with me, or were you actually responsible last year and you didn't try to fill your sadness with material objects? Just let me know. But I also think that doing like a not public, but just like documenting this and like actually posting this so I hold myself accountable is the only way that I would actually ever follow like a low buy, I guess, like not budget, because like budgets are kind of necessary, but I think I'll be more strict. Like if I wasn't just like posting about this, I might just be like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna like buy this one thing, but I actually have to be good and follow my budget well, because I'm posting about this, so that is a good thing for me. Alright, so blush, I debated not doing a red blush, but I think we all knew that I was going to do a red blush. So I haven't used this in a little bit. I'm going to use the Likely Makeup Clown Blush Palette, and I'm going to go into the shade Circus, which is the red, and I'm just going to go in with this. I feel like this is a little bit of a deeper red than the Colored Rain one that I was using. Like it's almost definitely like it's almost a little bit pinkier, whereas that one is like more bright. You can even see it like when you look at them in the pan, but I've been on a red blush kick recently. It's definitely not everyone's taste, but I love it. And I'm just going to take a touch more of Obituary, just like the tiniest bit, and just blend this a little bit more down. All right, and I don't have anything in front of me that I can make freckles with, so unfortunately I guess today we're going freckleless. But I'm going to do liner and lashes and put my lips on because I can't do that on camera because I can barely talk and do my makeup, let alone try to like be in frame when I do my lashes. So that's basically it, and it's good timing because I'm really running out of things to say. So let me just do that and I'll be back to wrap things up. Okay, and this is the finished look. I really love how it came out. I haven't done gray on my eyes in a really long time. On my lips, I use the CoverGirl Melting Pout Matte liquid lipstick in the shade Gray Matter. I don't love this, but I'm trying to rotate through my liquid lipstick, so I used it. I don't even know if it's still available. I think they came out with this before they like redid their line, but anyway, I wouldn't recommend buying it regardless. I really love this palette. It was the first time that I ever used it, but I already kind of knew that I was going to because there is nothing more beautiful to me than this color scheme, and I already know that I love Melt's eyeshadows. So I don't really have that much more to say. Let me know if you guys are going on a low buy this year. We can go on our low buy together. My rules are pretty simple. It's pretty much just a budget. Like, I'm just budgeting. So yeah, and I will do, I think like every 2 months or so, do an update like I already said. So thank you so much for watching. If there's anything you'd like to see from me, don't hesitate to let me know. And I will hopefully see you next time. Bye. And we're looking a little bit intense right now, a little bit vampiric, which normally is not which normally isn't just wait, just wait. Are you done?
Are you?
No.
Oh, I hope not.
She is like us. She's like, I hate money, but I love things.